I don't usually ask X and O questions. I'm not qualified. I ask emotion questions. But the guys who work for us, and many others, and they played the game at the highest level, is the walking up of the linebackers to the line of scrimmage, is that under review? Is that something you're considering? Depending on the situation.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it, depending on the situation. You know, in third downs, when you're presenting different looks, that's always been something we've done. We did a little bit more of it in first and second down, in base downs earlier in the year. Like, other than maybe 2 or 3 times, we did not walk up into the gaps Saturday night on first and second down, you know, in base defense. And part of that was we tried to get comfortable with doing that, because there's real advantages to doing that, like real advantages. But sometimes you try something and it's just not comfortable for your guys. So we've kind of moved away. Not that we never will do it, but you know, we moved away from it Saturday night, you know, as part of the game plan. We didn't bring that into the game plan very much. Now, in certain situations, you know, third downs and where you're running, you know, more exotic blitzes, then that'll definitely be a part of it. But yeah, you know, when you struggle, everybody would like to put it on this, because that's easy. It cleans it up. It makes everybody feel better. There is no this. You know, we're aware where we're struggling. We're also very aware where we're getting better, and I think we're logging some reps right now, valuable reps in games that I believe we're very close to turning the corner and becoming a mature defense again, like we've been in the past. And when that happens, I think it'll be that way for a while, because we got a bunch of guys that are going to be around for a while.
So it's a complicated deal.
Well, it's never as easy as one thing.
Right.
If it was, that would be fixed, and away we go. But sometimes it's not as dark as it seems either.
Right. When you look at the landscape of your whole defense, is it a personnel problem? Is it a scheme problem? Or is it just execution?
I wouldn't label it problem. I'd say that
struggle.
There's some issues with scheme and fitting to our personnel. There's some issues with personnel having enough reps under their belt to, you know, like anything else, you know, when you do things over and over and over again, then you're able to adjust it on the fly easier. You know, if it doesn't go exactly the way that you learned it, until you go through those experiences, you don't know really how to adjust on your own. But like I said, I think we are getting close, and this week is really good. Yesterday was a great day to really just focus on the things that we felt we needed to focus on without an opponent on the horizon. You know, you gotta get ready for this play or that play. So I'm excited. I know it stinks to lose. It stinks to have look at that scoreboard and see what it was, but I don't think we're very far off. And you know, unfortunately, over my career, there's sometimes I've been places where you are very far off. We're not very far off. And I'm confident that the worm will turn, and good thing, because it's just in the nick of time. I mean, we're coming down the stretch now.
You mentioned the work you want to do this week. Can you get into a little bit more about what the priorities would be for you in a bye week in a situation like this? It's week 9 for you all, so looking at scheme, I don't know how difficult it is to change certain things. Obviously, you always coach up your personnel. What's the most important thing to accomplish in a bye week for you now?
Well, I don't think it's. You're right. You're not going to make wholesale scheme changes, but it's tweaking the scheme you run. You know, how can we help our guys in this area or that area? Up until last week, I wouldn't have said tackling is a problem. You know, we missed some tackles early in the year, but when you look at it as a coordinator, you look at your whole defense. How many tackles did you miss? And if you're in the 5, 6, 7, or 8 range in a game, that's usually pretty good. That's 2 per position group. You know, we had 20 missed tackles. We've never had 20 missed tackles here, as long as I've been here. Usually, like I said, we're in the single digits, oftentimes in the 4 or 5 area. So 20 is, you know, uncharted waters. So we made it an emphasis. Had that not happened, it wouldn't had to have been an emphasis this week, but it certainly is now for the defense. And then, like you said, tweaking the scheme, trying to get guys comfortable with the last pieces that they're not comfortable with, if that makes sense. And it's a chance to sit back and take a breath and look at ourselves too. Okay, you know, in this field zone, are we having any tendency? In this down and distance, is there any tendencies? Now we do that continually each week. That's part of your early week game planning prep. But to do it in a holistic manner and really dig down and drill down on some things, that's what this week is good for.
How much will you practice this week then?
We go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've played a lot of kids at safety,
Yeah.
you know, giving opportunities and giving guys opportunities to prove themselves in a kind of a pressure situation.
Mm-hmm.
You take us through their response to that so far, what you've seen that you are maybe encouraged by, where do you need to grow at that position?
You know, going into the year, we knew the safety opposite Jordan Fuller was going to be a position of need that we had to fill. And I think that position is a microcosm of our performance as a defense. Sometimes extraordinary, sometimes okay, and then sometimes not very good. And we're going to have to continue. I mean, it's not our wish to be going into week 10 and not have a solid, you know, this is the guy and we feel very comfortable. But then again, that happens sometimes. You know, you don't always have guys that it just clicks for very easily. So we're still going to continue to play more than just one guy opposite Jordan because we have to. You know, that's where we are right now. I wish we didn't, but that's where we are.
Greg, you were one of the people who told us last week that there was at least one day of practice that looked really good. Are there things showing up in workouts that look much better than they are in game days? And if that's the case, what's generally the cause of that?
You know, there's the hard thing, and I'll answer your question in a minute. The hard thing when you come off a game like this is you say everything stinks. That's not true. You know, when you look at it, and what I try to do is really deal in the body of truth, not feelings, because emotions can lead you astray. There's so many 0-yard gains, negative plays, you know, those are really positive things. What's killing us, obviously, is the chunk plays. And, you know, it sounds like a broken record because we talked about this after TCU, and then we talked about it midseason, and we're talking about it after Purdue. But when I mentioned earlier, I feel like we're close to making those go away. And when you make those go away, the good stuff doesn't go away with it. You know, it's just that's part of the maturation of a defense. I wish it happened faster, but it's happening. And that's what gives, you know, sure, I mean, you get back Sunday morning and early and, you know, in the middle of the night, and it's just, you know, what are we going to do now? But you get up and you get back to work, and you can see the positives, and you have to remember those. Otherwise, you could just let you beat you down.
Urban talked about you guys having a 12-hour session on Monday going over things. What was that session like? I mean, how difficult was it kind of sorting through everything, being taken off the road for recruiting to work on addressing those issues?
Not difficult at all. I mean, it's not fun to watch plays that you wish didn't happen. But again, that's what you do as a coach. I mean, the whole essence of coaching is being able to put your players in the best position to be successful. And when we're not successful, the first person you got to look at is yourself. Did we, first did I, and then did our assistant coaches, did we give our players the best chance possible to be successful? And as you examine it, you have to make decisions. This was a scheme issue. This was a one-on-one issue. This was a mental issue where we didn't do the job right. There's several different reasons why things don't work, and it's our job to figure out first what the problem is, and then how do you fix it? And that was a major part of Monday and yesterday. As a matter of fact, right now, I mean, we're in there right now. This is a great week for us as coaches because, like I said, we don't have the impending game to have to play where you have to have your game plans ready, and it gives us a chance to really look at us. And hopefully, like I said, I have felt this way all along. You know, sometimes people say, "What is he looking at?" You know, that's what I do, and I see that we're close, and I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about this team. You know, we're in 7-1 after we are 7-1, right? 7-1
Yes, yeah.
After a horrible loss, but you know, a lot of football to play. Let's wait to judge this thing until it's over.
But
Thanks,
the
guys.
bye week came